couple things. One, you can already tell. Terrible lighting, this episode. This room that I'm using is not made for lighting, especially at nighttime, and I have a lack of lights. I was like, man, I'm gonna use the green screen, maybe. Like, not too many episodes left. It's getting important. The lighting isn't gonna work out. We're just gonna have a green fucking background. Fuck it. Also, if you couldn't already tell, my voice fucked up. Coming out of a sickness. Hopefully it'll be better by tomorrow, because I'll kind of need it. Not the point. Death Note, episode 7, live action, drama, Asian people. Here we go. Okay. Basically, I was really, getting more of the sense of the anime. I was like, man, I miss the anime. I was watching a lot of the clips on YouTube. I made Death Note AMV, so that put me back in the sense of the anime. I'll link the AMV down below if you're interested. Probably not. I might not even link it because I'm lazy or I'll forget. Let's see. At the beginning of this episode, despite all of this evidence saying that Light's not Kira, even though he is, and he knows that because he's so smart and genius, but he still is like, you know what, I'm gonna handcuff you to me, just like in the anime. Although in the anime it made more sense, but whatever. And he's like, I'm just gonna do this until I know you're not Kira. And then, like, a little more dialogue, and he uncuffs him. It was just to say, like, hey, it's to say we did that handcuff thing, you know? And, so moving on, let's see. Basically, they get the information on my phone, I'm sorry if you heard that. They're gonna infiltrate Yotsuba? Yeah, Yotsuba, because everything's pointing at Yotsuba, a person working here. And Elle got a tip from, Babel, or Babel, they don't, it's Japanese, it's hard for me to get a proper pronunciation. Anyway, they get a message from Babel, who I'm gonna pronounce it like that, Babel, who is also seemingly working for, Yotsuba, but then Elle reveals that Babel is near Babel. And he also, there was this cool thing where it's like, Babel is the 4th greatest detective on the planet. Alright, technical difficulties. Forgot what I was saying. God damn it. What was I saying? I think I was talking about Nier, and how he was actually Babel, and Babel was Nier. And I think I was mentioning just a line I liked where it was like, Babel was the 4th greatest detective, and Elle was like, oh, he's like, I'm actually, the 2nd and 3rd greatest detectives are my other identities, so technically Nier is 2nd. I love that kind of shit. That's something Elle from the anime would do. And that's something that would be in that, I don't know if it was in the anime, maybe it was. Anyways, I love that, but, basically, there's also this thing, I'll get to that later. First off, we got the team. They're gonna infiltrate the lair of Yotsuba. Misa's pretending to go there for this weird, commercial thingy, and Matsuda's gonna be her manager, and Light's gonna be her hair and makeup guy, but he's gonna split, and then he's gonna dress up as some kind of backstage person, set up a camera in the big room. And he almost doesn't do it. There's this random fucking security guy who, he's gonna go in this room for no reason. Like, he opens it up, Light, there's a big suspension thing, he barely makes it out. And they're making it look like the second he opens that door, Light would be there. And I hate when they do that. He's just gone. And it didn't matter anyway, because he saw him right after. But the cop, he was like, going into the room, he's like, oh, why is it locked? And then, he opens it, he's like, oh, nothing suspicious, and then he closes it. Why the fuck were you trying to open the door? Were you just making sure it wasn't suspiciously locked? And then he sees Light, and there's this big chase scene, it's pretty cool. Misa gets interrogated by Yotsuba and Babel, and after that we we basically find out that, you know, Babel's near and Mello, since he's pretty much she, because it's played by a girl. It's, I don't care, no, I'm gonna refer to her as a girl. I'm sorry. And she has two minds apparently, because Mello got fucked over, man. Oh my god. They don't give a no one gives a fuck about Mello. I'm sorry, Mello. And then this episode also has, I think they're just pushing this so, you know, in the end it was a little more dramatic. Basically, they're really trying to push this sense that Light and L are these good friends. L at one point mentions, like, what was it, like, he kind of hopes that Kira isn't Light, because he, you know, wants that friendship, and Light says some stuff how, you know, he wants Ryuga as a friend, and he refers to L as Ryuga, the friend, because he doesn't want to think of him as L the detective, and they're really, I can see in an anime their friendship, you know, they've been together for a good amount of time. This live action series, I don't see the friendship there. They barely hanged out. They're really trying to push this friendship thing, and I'm just like, you're not friends. Like, we have little to no evidence of you guys being friends, so why should I believe that, you know? Even though they did, like, execute it well, like, with that dialogue. That's some good dialogue there, bro. After that, there was this really cool scene. It was like a puzzle thing with Nier and L. First off, Nier is her fucking wig is so fucking obvious. I know, like, I'm pretty sure that's a wig on L. And, you know, that's obvious enough. But Nier's fucking haircut, it looks like some Woody Harrelson Hunger Games shit. It looks bad, okay? It just doesn't look natural. My script fell on the ground, or my guidelines. And there's this very cool scene, basically hinting at the next episode, which the next episode I'm pretty sure is going to be, like, the episode. Like, if you watch the anime, you know what I'm talking about. But it very much hinted at that in this scene. It was basically, they're playing a puzzle thing. It's just a blank puzzle. I thought that was kind of cool. And there's, like, hundreds of fucking pieces. And basically, Nier's like, you got that, except in a little girl voice, you got that piece wrong, L, like, and, like, cause he got a piece that didn't match, and before that, they were just, like, subconsciously making this puzzle. And that's when L was like, you might have to finish this on your own. You will be delivering the final piece. And then he hands a puzzle piece to L, or Nier. And that's, if you watch the anime, you know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. And I have a good idea what the fuck they're gonna do. And, I was hoping they were gonna take this a different route. It looks like they're taking it the same route. Nier, his character, you know, he might not be as annoying so far. I don't like her. It's not a he. I don't like her. She's very just weird. I don't like, and she's like almost psychotic, like, cause she's like talking to herself and has a split personality thing. She's wearing these weird fucking clothes. I'm not liking Nier. Didn't like him the first time. As a girl, don't like him that much more. But after this, basically they're gonna launch their attack on Kira. Basically, they're gonna put up this fake news thing, and it's gonna reveal Kira when it's Motsuda, like, and they basically, you know, still don't know, but they think they're gonna kill Motsuda, and basically, through some, swift maneuvering, they figure out who it is. It's, I forgot his name, it's like Hitsuguri, I don't fucking know. And basically they get a tape of him trying to use the Death Note. It doesn't work because they gave a fake alias for Motsuda. After that, he makes a Shinigami ideal, and they see, because he killed a cop, just a fucking cop on the street, just so he could get to the news thing faster. And then he's about to see Motsuda and just kill him. It's very fucking obvious, like, if you run in there and try to, like, even see his face like that, I think you're raising your suspicion a little bit, like, but it's, Matsuda, he gets away. Matsuda, I'm so sorry. Matsuda, he gets away, and then there's just a team of fucking police people outside, and they all have headgear. Everyone has headgear, because it's like the ultimate, like, you're Kira, we're gonna fucking stop you. And then there's like this big cool light, and then you got like L and Light, and they're just standing there like, we got you, Kira. It's so fucking badass. After that though, the false Kira, he's like, you got me. I'll just show you what I'm about to do. I'm just very boom, pulls out a gun. But Light, he steps in the way for Ryuga, L, and he just gets grazed in the arm. Everything's fine. They take down this guy. L, because, he knows about the Death Note. He touches it, and then he sees Rem, and his actor, man. His actor, he gets me. It was... the show that's supposed to be taken so seriously, sometimes there's like a moment, and it's so fucking funny. I'm noticing a lot more Japan, even just from other stuff that I've briefly seen. They work hard on their facial expressions. They go all out. And like L's face after he sees Rem, he falls back and he's like that one like internet troll face where he's like, it's fucking hilarious. It really is. After that, Light, they're bringing fake Elway, and then Light, he grabs the notebook, and it's not like a cool scene like in the anime where it was like explosions, and then Light was like, oh, as he was remembering everything. But it's a very cool scene, and then he gets his memory back. And then he, does the watch thing. He, pulls out this little thing, cuts himself, and writes on the Death Note. He couldn't have waited a fucking day before he killed, because he had to kill the, false Kira to get, his possession of the Death Note back. So he kills him right away, and then everyone's like, what? And then, he just looks at Light. And Light's just on the ground clutching this Death Note, and he's making the most, stupidest face. Stupidest face. And he's like, I'm so fucking evil and awesome. And I'm like, you couldn't have, just not been clutching, literally just clutching the notebook on the ground, and Al's like, oh, I guess you are Kira, and then the episode ends. Light's face too, man. It's fucking great. I can't sometimes, man. I just can't. But next episode, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the episode. They even had a preview, and Light said L's name, like his full name, L Laliette. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty badass, you guys. Hopefully I'll watch that tonight, and get a review at. That being said, stay awesome, you guys. I will see you on the episode 8 review of Death Note live action drama, all that shit. Transition. Actually, no, there's not gonna be a transition yet because I forgot the score. 3 out of 4. Pretty damn good episode. That being said, with that, I leave you. Alright, so Death Note, episode 8, live action. My voice might still be a little bit blah, 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 but that is okay. It is daytime now, so hopefully the lighting is a little bit better as well. What was I gonna? How did I want to start this off? What an episode! It wasn't the episode I thought it would be, as it alluded to, but I think that's gonna be episode 9. That's gonna be the episode. And it knows what's gonna happen. It knows it's on like 90% of our minds. Okay, let's just start it off at the beginning. Beginning of the episode. Elle says Light and Misa, they're 100% clear, 100% innocent, even though the way he's smiling, he's like, yeah, I don't fucking believe that. Then he scurries away. And the way, pretty much Light, he wrote in his own rules. He made Ryuk write some rules into the Death Note that say, anyone who uses a note but doesn't follow up on that, within about 2 weeks' time, they will die. And it's been over that for both Misa and Light because they're in custody for so long. So that proves their innocence. But you know, Light or Elle being him, he's like, oh, I don't know if I believe that. So yeah, of course. And then there's the only people who have touched it are Elle and Light even added a rule like, if you try to destroy the book after someone touches it, they will die. So they can't kill it or destroy the book because they'll kill Light and Elle. So after that, or just Elle pretty much, is trying to talk to Rem. He's like, hey Shinigami, what the fuck are you? And then Rem just leaves, just flies away. And I was gonna point out, because I was like, doesn't that technically have Light's handwriting all over it? This is something in the original series. I was like, what? Like, cause his just fucking handwriting all over that shit. But Light said he ripped out all the pages that he wrote in, which, you know, that makes up for that. Also, and because the Death Note can regenerate pages, the number of pages is infinite. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty powerful notebook, brah. And so, we get some flashbacks of what, you know, Light was imagining before this. He made Rem and Ryuk switch Death Notes, and he sends Misa into the forest to get her notebook back. And once she has that, she's supposed to get her memories back. She's supposed to make the Shinigami ideal once again, talk to Elle, and then once there, she will tell Light his name, and he will write his name Ellaliet, I believe is how you pronounce it. And, you know, everything's going according to plan, then, boom! Misa gets bitch slapped by a shovel. There's a weird guy who's working for that, what was his name? He's working for, Mikami. Mikami. So basically, we get more in depth with the Mikami character. Because he gets the Death Note after that. It basically is a weird plot thing to get Mikami to have the Death Note. It's a little what? It's whatever. There's a big chase scene. Basically, Light deducts that Mikami has the Death Note. From there, I'm jumping ahead. I want to talk about Nier, because they're doing some things in the show that maybe for a first-time viewer, I don't know, is a great idea, but for me, who's already seen Death Note, they're pandering to my audience. Like, for Nier, I think, because they're trying to, I think, work Nier into the story, and basically, I like the idea that him and Elle are kind of like brothers. They grew up together in a sort of sense. They have an actual relationship, whereas in the anime, it was just like, oh, now there's Nier, and apparently he was cool with Elle. And, you know, we'll never hear from Elle again. Then we got, basically, this is a thing, because, you know, Mikami, he's a big Kira supporter, and he's just killing people. And I'm noticing, like, why are all the criminals male? Literally, I just noticed that in Death Note, all the bad guys or the criminals are male. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like when we think of certain like professions or groups, we automatically think of a male, and sometimes some other groups we automatically think of a female. And I guess males are, automatically when you think of a criminal, you think of a male. That's obviously not the case. And it's just one of those things. I'm like, well, like, you could have just one female. I think at one point, if you add a female criminal who's getting, death noted, people are gonna be like, oh shit, that was like the first female, and then they'll suddenly notice. So, who knows with that? I guess females are just pretty little harmless creatures that don't ever do anything wrong. And then, oh my god, there was this really weird scene with Nier. The person who attacked Misa, Nier thinks, that's like the person who has the death note. So it's a she breaks into his house and is just chilling there. And this guy's like, what the fuck? Punches her. This guy is pro-domestic violence all the way. Complete Chris Brown supporter. After that, Nier pretty much gets possessed by her mellow personification, I guess, persona. And she, like, is talking in the deep voice Mellow has. It's like, oh, and then she kills him. She literally kills him. And it's hinted at that she, like, hand-to-hand killed this person, this little girl. What? I'm very confused. No. What? After that, there's this scene, and this actually gets, at the end of this episode, this almost makes more sense. Nier, she's very, concerned for L, and they're making our puzzle, and they're like, let's put in the final piece together, and Light, he humors her, and he puts in a piece to the puzzle, and it's kind of hinted at they're gonna fight Kira together. And since L doesn't die in the end of the episode, I think that's what they're going with. Yeah. So after that, Light, he meets Mikami, because Mikami is just basically a L fanboy, or Light fanboy, so he's gonna do whatever Light says. And so he gets his squad, they break into L's place, that place shouldn't be that easy to break into, but Light knows where it is, and he told him. Without Light knowing where L was camped at, I don't know how Mikami's supposed to have that information. So when they ask him, I guess he would just be like, oh, I just figured, That's not the point. Basically, L and Light have a great face-off. It's a meeting of the minds. First they're being recorded, and, then L just turns off the cameras, and at that point, Light kind of breaks his fake character, and he reveals himself as Kira. He wouldn't do that. They're just doing that to make it more cinematic and dramatic. He wouldn't do that. He'd be like, there's another camera. I'm not breaking character. I'm not gonna write your name, like, in plain view. But, that's not the point, because there wasn't another camera, and basically him and L, they have a great, like, just conversation, and there's that moment when, like, Light reveals himself as Kira to L, but it's like, in the end, he kind of knew, and they're really going for this friendship angle, and I wish this was the anime sort of taking this sort of route, and not these live-action characters I don't like as much, because they're not as cool or interesting, but it's like, hey, I'm getting it, so I'm not going to complain, but, they have a physical fight, because L tries to write Light's name in the death note, and he's like, if I die in 13 days, I guess we'll both, go to the afterlife together. If not, if I don't die, that proves you're Kira. So, yeah. So, But because he recorded himself and because Mikami is in that facility, he can see L. He has his name. He texts it to Light. Light's like, oh, he has those faces. Or he's like, Light's fucking faces in the show. I'm sorry, they're great. He's slobbering all over himself. Light in anime though, he's not far off. He's not far off. Just added a little bit of slobbering, which is what happens when you make those faces IRL. So Light, he and L, he's like, goodbye L. And, you know, I wish we could have been friends, but this is the way it has to be. Light, L. Laliet in the Death Note, waits 40 seconds. We pan over to L, we expect to see him just Jesus. He's dead, he's just Jesus. But no, he stands up and he's like, it's the fucking faces, man, the fucking faces. He's not dead, he gets up, episode cuts off. My assumption is it was a fake Death Note. He replicated it. With that being said, though, Light still got that Death Note up in his watch there. So I don't know what they're planning to do. I think someone's pulling in my driveway, so I'm gonna go. I give this episode a 3 out of 4. I'm just excited for the next episode. We'll see what happens later. Episode 9. This was the episode. L was dead. He's dead. You know, wasn't sure if they were gonna do it there for a little bit, but they did it. They killed off our favorite, well, maybe not in this live action version, but they killed off our favorite character. Who needs them? You know, we got Nier. She's Nier. But let's just jump right into it. Basically, yeah, L says what I suspected, and he's like, that's a fake Death Note. And after that, he's like, Light, you're my only friend, because fuck Watery and Nier. Who likes them? They're not my friends. Yeah. And in the anime, you know, Watery, he died before L. It was crazy, but, yeah. And then L dies. He just kind of, once the task force shows up, it seems Light is cornered, but then boom, L just drops, and then Light gets his gun. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He tried to kill me, saying I was Kira, and then and then I wrote his name in self-defense. The okay cover story. And then, you know, his dad was like, it's a fake note, it's a fake Death Note, someone else killed him. And then they go to the funeral, and, you know, Nier and Watery, they have a very mourning moment. He goes to the funeral, and Watery plays a video. It's basically, you know, just like, Nier's gonna take my job, I'm dead. Peace. That's about it. And I'm still confused because L seemed to have some kind of disease or condition to me. Like, he had that, like, thing where he just kept changing shirts and, like, kept drinking that weird product placed whatever the fuck it was. And I'm just like, I thought that would lead to something, but, maybe it won't. Maybe there's something there that I'm not getting. But whatever. And then, you know, Light, he's, you know, well, before that, Mikami, he steps out of the shadows after everyone leaves, and it is revealed that he actually killed L. I thought it was just Light, you know, he did the watch thing. No, it's actually Mikami. He, you know, just was on the scene, he wrote down the name, and boom. That's how L died. So, in the original anime, I'm not gonna ruin it, but someone else kills him. So it's kind of like, oh god, like, Light never gets to kill L, no matter what. But I like the fact that, you know, we get to see that confession, like, Light confesses to L. Because in the anime, I guess this is kind of a spoiler, he never gets to find that out. He dies, like, just looking up at Light. still putting on an act. And I was like, man, we're never gonna get that, like, oh, I caught you moment. Like he's, even though he pretty much knows it's true, he doesn't get that confirmation. That being said, it's also like, I like the fact that, what was I gonna say? That, you know, Light gets to, I like that Light actually knows L's name, because in the show, we never learn that. Light certainly doesn't know that. And so we get to learn his real name in this show and, you know, in the movie and blah, blah, blah. But, basically, Nier steps in to take L's job. He's like, basically, the only people that could have seen L's face are the ones in this room and the prosecutors, so the list has fallen a lot. And you know, Light, he's like, I don't take Nier as seriously, which will probably be his downfall right there. And then we got another cool rooftop scene. Mikami, I really didn't think he was that close-minded. He's so close-minded. He's like, Lord God. He's like completely into this, and he's like, yo, you want the Death Note? Sure. Like, he doesn't give a shit. Whatever Light wants. And then Misa suddenly appears, and then, you know, Light's like, oh, touch this. And then we got old Misa back. So we got old Misa. She doesn't have Shinigami eyes, but she does remember. She was seen writing in her own low Death Note. Mikami, you know, he's using the Shinigami eyes as an advantage, you know, helping Light as much as he can. And Light, he's just back to the old Kira. So we got pretty much 3 people writing at the same goddamn time. Kira's on fire right now. Like, L's gone. It's dark days. Yeah, and there was also this really cool line. It was like, when Light was reflecting on L, he was like, because L's line was, justice always wins. And Light's response to this, in closing, was, the one who wins is justice, which, that's a fair argument. Like, if you look throughout history, the people who are in charge ultimately decide justice, and once new generations come in and they're raised upon the beliefs that, the previous leaders of the former generation have left, that pretty much establishes what is right and wrong. In certain countries, if you do something, it's fucked up. If you do it in our country, it's a normal day at the park. And that's just the way it is. And ultimately, like, there's no, obviously, doing, bad things to others is kind of just, like, the obvious, that's bad. But, you know, other stuff, like, just, like, it really blurs the line. And Death Note, I think, at least started sort of a conversation, even though, the head of the other conversation was this evil madman murderer. That being said, I really like that line. What else we got? Another thing I noted, Light, when they're on this rooftop, he's saying how he's gonna be the god of the new world, and the new world, it's always future tense. We're never there. And that's why I think another bad thing about Kira, it's like, there's always going to be more people to kill, and ultimately, the line of, like, what are we gonna kill people for, that's just gonna blur, and ultimately, we're just gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do, because you're, like, an insane madman, and there is no proper justice, because we're never gonna live in this perfect world. You're, like, chasing, like, the pursuit of happiness, but, like, the pursuit of justice. It's never gonna happen. It's just not going to. After that, you know, we got these 3 Kiras going at once. You know, it's getting crazy. And then, boom. Light's sister, Sayo, I believe, she gets captured. And at first, I think it's Light. I think he's using, Mikami to, you know, get Light's father to give him the notebook. So that way he has the monopoly. But it's actually not him. My hair's sticking up weird. It's not him. It turns out to be the girl that works in the task force. There's a reason they included her into the show. I guess this was it. Because at first, like, because Light was like, someone in this room is a traitor. I was like, that chick. Because she's the only one that's not in the anime. Sorry to break that for those who didn't watch the anime. So yeah, the girl did it, and she apparently, her whole history was fake, and she was just trying to learn more about Kira. And ultimately, it seems she's just going after Kira's power for whatever purpose she wanted. I guess money, god powers, all that good stuff. So she a criminal. And so at the end of the episode, it just kind of cuts off, Nier, he obviously has known that Light is Kira. He gets confirmation by a video by L that he's like, yo, Light's Kira, you should do something about that. And Nier's like, yeah. And that's basically where it cuts off. And, then we got our squad heading out to do something about this girl problem who has captured Sayu or whatever. Sayu, I don't know how to pronounce her name. She was a very secondary character in the anime, and he also had like a mom. That being said, this episode, it was pretty good. The only we had the whole L thing, and I like the Fallout, but we're going like the new stuff with Nier. It's not as entertaining. It's not as good. But I enjoyed it to a pretty good extent. The live action series, I'm getting dull with it. I'm not loving how I was. They are making changes, but those changes are innovative enough for getting some really good stuff. I'm just interested to see how it ends. That's the one thing keeping me going. I want to see the ending. The whole Nier thing, I really don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Nier, Mellow, Girl, Boy. No. And I in the Death Note second part, say what you will about it, it really, without L, you had Light, and he was just doing it. He was, Kira's his job. And it's kind of cool we're seeing that in a way. Give this episode, I remember the episode, the score. Gonna give this episode a 3 out of 4. This has been a pretty occurring theme. I think this is going to be the end of our part 3, and we'll move on to part 4. Hopefully it'll be up soon. Really enjoy. L's dead, man. He died. He's not going to be making smirky smirks anymore. But that's the way it's gotta be. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay awesome. Have a wonderful day. Please subscribe. And with that, I leave you.